Hello everyone, let's look at Leetcode question 1529, minimum suffix flips. So in this question, we're given an input value target, and you can imagine it as one of two strings containing all zeros and ones. The second string will contain all zeros, and it will be of the same exact length as the target string. We want to change one string to match the other using a specific operation. This operation allows us to pick a point in the string and flip all digits from that point to the end. So we want to return how many times do we need to perform this operation at different points in the string to make the first string identical to the second one. Okay, so here are the examples. Before we look at them, let's look at the constraints. So n equals target.length. This is simply the length of the target string s, and they will be somewhere between 1 to 50,000 or 500,000 actually characters long. And the values themselves at target position I is either 0 or 1. Okay, so let's look at the examples. Okay, so what we do is initialize a string, empty string, to be all 0 values, and it's the same length as the input value target. And then we loop through every character in the input value target and check if it is not the same as the initial index of answer. So we loop through, is 1 equal to 0? No, it's not. So we go to that index and change the value to 1 and all the other values thereafter. So answer is now 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Next value in target is 0, and we do the same thing. Is 0 the same as 1? No, it's not, so we have to change all the values at that index and all values after that. So it becomes 1, that didn't change, 0 changes, 0, 0, 0. The next value in target is 1, so we check then if 1 is the same as the value found at answers at index 2, 1, 0, 0. They are not the same, so we have to change all values at this index, 1, 0, 1. And the rest, 1, 1. So this is our final answer. So it took 3 iterations to make it so answer becomes the same as target. So let's look at the code and follow through with the same example. So here we have the code in the first example. We initialize count to 0 and last to 0. Even though the length is not the same as target, we don't need it because we can simply reference to the most recent index value and change it accordingly. So we loop through every value in target. As we went through it, we then check if count is, last is equal to t. If it is so, we don't do anything, but if it is not, we add 1 to the counter and update the last value to the most recent index. So here 0 is not equal to 1, count becomes 1, last is 1. Next value, here we loop through it and we see that 1 is not equal to 0, so we update that for the count, and then last becomes 0. Finally, 0 is not equal to 1, the current t in target, so count becomes 3 now, and last is 1. And since this if statement condition won't be true, we stick with a value 3 in this case. So here's our next example, 1, 0, 1, 1, count equals 0, last starts at 0, loop through every character, 1, 0, 1, we start with 1. Is 1 not equal to last? This is the case, update count to 1, last becomes 1, then the next character is 0. Is 0 not equal to 1? This is true, so we update the counter, count becomes 2, last becomes 0. Finally, the next value, 1. Is 1 not equal to 0? That is true, so count plus 1, and last is 1. We return the value 3. Alright, let's see if it runs. Very nice, so it works. This is a good, concise solution. So the time complexity of this solution is O of n, where n is the length of the target string. This is because we iterate through each character in the target string just one time. And the space complexity is O of 1 because we only use a constant amount of space, of extra space, to store the count and last variables. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.